Hello everyone, and welcome to another royal reading here at MadWorldTarot. I'm a bit late today. We had people around this afternoon and only getting to doing tarot now. And I have the Radiant Wise Spirit Tarot on the tarot table under the ring light, the glorious ring light. I'm looking at two absolutely conflicting stories that are in the press today. And no, not the startlingly red-headed children that we've seen on Instagram, or the strange, tearful Madame, the mother of Montecito, crying about how she's sending emails to her children every day. I think we answered the question of how those emails are going to be received in the readings that I did yesterday. I must have... Caught the vibes in the ether. Anyway, we're looking at contradictory stories, as I said. The one that comes from the New York Times is all about reconciliation. The other, that's in Radar Online, is all about Meghan forbidding reconciliation. I'll look at that in the next reading. The first one, New York Times. We know that is... They are very pro Harry and Meghan, seemingly paid to play, and they were one of the few media outlets that were really supportive of Meghan's farcical lifestyle show on Netflix with Love Meghan. They even tested the recipes, which caused outrage from long-time subscribers, readers, all the rest of it. They now tell us that Harry and Meghan are desperate to reconnect with William and Catherine. And an insider, I wonder who that insider could be, claims that the pair are hoping to trigger truce as Harry attempts to rebuild his relationship with his family. Meghan, it goes on to tell us, and if you can hear crunching in the background, that's because Fluffy is having her dinner. Meghan is desperate to come across as the bigger person and end this feud between them. Appearing as some sort of royal saviour could only do her image good. So as I say, I wonder who that insider could be. I also am wondering what is going on with this story. Is it genuine? Does she really want to reconnect? In which case, how desperate is she, or broke? Or is this some kind of ruse to force the issue to make the Waleses look bad? There Meghan is, ready to end the feud, being the bigger person, the royal saviour, and William and Catherine are just clinging on to their grudges and being petty and mean and cruel. And so we are going to do a Celtic Cross, and we are going to look at this from Meghan's point of view and try and figure out what she's up to. The royal saviour. She is now being described as amazing. Do the royals need a saviour? I don't think so. Meghan, on the other hand, does seem to think so, that she's going to be the bigger person and trigger a truce. Interesting terminology, don't you think? And I'm trying to scratch back in school grammar to think what that is. Is that an oxymoron? You can tell me. Trigger a truce. So, let us do this Celtic Cross, and we'll find out what's going on, what's led to this strange new thought, and how genuine is it, what's motivating her, what she's going to do, and what the outcome will be. Basic Celtic Cross. I think I've got the energy. Yes, I have. Keep seeing the star. And that's hope, isn't it? This card of hope. Let's remind you, this is tarot, not tarot of hope, but tarot of entertainment. And it is all my opinion and all speculation. And we look at stories like this, we test the energy around them, and all, as I say, for fun and entertainment. And there is, of course, a disclaimer in the box below. So let's see what the Radiant Wise Spirit Tarot have to tell us about this fascinating tale. The Saviour is well, the royal saviour is ready. Ten of Swords. To trigger a truce, well, Ten of Swords tells its own tale about the royal saviour. The royal saviour is having a dark night of the soul, Ten of Swords, having some kind of crisis, some kind of collapse, reach the end. And people are commenting all over the place with all these appearances. She's popping up all over the place and in tears and flapping her hands and going on about her children and Harry and how marvellous he is, and it all looks a bit cray-cray to the dispassionate observer, impartial observer. And there it is, the Ten of Swords. This is not coming from a place of strength, it's coming from a place of weakness. Whatever we see in these actual 10 cards of the Celtic Cross, remember this Ten of Swords underlying the entire reading. It's ruin, it's failure, it's devastation, it's a kind of a death, it's the end of all her dreams. Her podcast has plummeted off the top whatever lists. The show, the Netflix show, an absolute disaster. And as ever, she hasn't restocked, she's not selling, Netflix isn't promoting her goods. They got her the little gig at times 100, but she's in dire straits with that Ten of Swords. So I think we can figure out why this is going on. But let's have a look, the heart of the reading. What is going on with Madame? We've got the Queen of Pentacles. That normally would be Catherine's energy, and of course Meghan is now trying to trigger that truce with William and Catherine. And the article did go on about how now Catherine is back at work and doing whatever it's going to take some of the heat off Harry and Meghan, as if they have been single-handedly carrying the royal family all this time. No, they haven't been. They've been taking pot shots at the royals all the way along. But Meghan is trying to come across as Queen of Pentacles, as the bigger person. The Queen of Pentacles is loyal and steadfast and does the right thing and is the person you can always count on, the person who would be generous and giving and forgiving. Meghan wants to come across as that kind of person. The actual Queen of Pentacles, Catherine, has demonstrated all of those attributes along the way, but Meghan is now trying to take that cloak on for herself, and we see this constantly with her, that she tries to adopt other people's habits, personality, characteristics, interests, whatever, because she herself is just a void. That is my opinion, my inexpert opinion. So what's the challenge? What's troubling Meghan's soul? We have the Three of Swords and it's in reverse. All kinds of bad things going on in her life. It could be that the marriage is in terrible trouble. That would be the Three of Swords. It's a broken-hearted kind of energy, betrayed, devastated, trying to prevent that, trying to prevent maybe Harry from leaving, Three of Swords, going back to the royals. Can't have that happen, can't have Harry go back on his own. He has tried and failed in the past 6 months or so, longer than that possibly. But she's really struggling. She's very disappointed. I think she feels betrayed possibly by her world around her in Montecito. They haven't come to the party. The big names haven't responded. Nobody has come along to do the podcast with her. She's had to make use of people like her hairdresser. And then on the show, her makeup artist, it looks very bad. It looks pitiful. And I think she's really quite devastated at how the way things have played out, and I think also quite devastated that the fact that the royals can't be bothered to reach out to her and beg her and apologize and do all the things that she wanted them to do. I think she cannot believe how unwanted she is, unremarkable she is, and how broken her life is. Not what she expected. This is my opinion, of course. What's at the root of all of this? Why are we getting this story now? What's driving this? We've got this Page of Cups. It's the apology. It's the reaching out. It's needing to be loved, needing to be wanted. That is really an outreach. And it's quite strange because we never see her in that energy, never ever. It's quite humble, it's quite emotional, it's not her natural state. I'm getting that she's been told to do this. And of course she can't just do it. We have to get this narrative about she wants to be the bigger person and end this feud. She wants to appear as some sort of royal saviour because it could only do her image good. That's meant to be the subtext. That's meant to be what's discussed in meetings with your new PR people or your communications person or whatever. That's not what's supposed to be told to the New York Times. But it has been. And I think that's genuinely what's going on. People are saying to her, you need to come across as the bigger person. You need to start making overtures. You need to start coming across as more caring and more compassionate. She managed to squeeze out some tears on that podcast today, her friend's podcast. She needs to do a lot more of that and a lot less of the dictator in high heels kind of a stuff. But of course she had to tell everyone about it. What's her goal? Is it genuine or is this some kind of a ruse? Justice. This is not out of the kindness of her, in my opinion, black heart. That's my opinion. This is because she wants, I'm going to say, vengeance. She wants the wrongs that she perceives as wrongs to be righted. She also, and of course she's always going to see things from her perspective. She's never going to be able to see things from anyone else's perspective. We've got betrayal, backstabbing, broken heart, all the royals' fault. She never did anything wrong. Of course not. She's incapable of doing anything wrong. That's what the Justice card is about. But it's also being seen as the bigger person, the forgiving person, as the person who can balance the situation and bring everybody together and the reconciliation. Because justice has in its energy, it has all kinds of processes that aren't suing and litigating and all of that. It can be mediation, things like that. We've heard that word right from the get-go. We've heard suggestions put to the royals about getting mediation going so that Harry and Meghan's case can be put to them and justice can be served, of course, by impartial outsiders. There it is. That's what she really, really wants. She still feels aggrieved. She feels like she's been wronged by the royals. And so this, being the bigger person, is perception only. It's not what's in her heart. She wants outsiders, onlookers, people who don't really know the full story, to think that she's being the bigger person for giving them. But actually, in my opinion, she wants vengeance. That's how I'm reading this. I don't believe that there is true desire for reconciliation in her heart. My opinion, I'm reading the cards. It's my personal understanding of the energy, interpretation of the energy. What has led to this pronouncement in the New York Times? What's led up to it? We've got the Nine of Cups. Now, the Nine of Cups is the wish fulfillment card, the smug, self-satisfied card, the gluttonous energy in that card. But it's not about that. That's just generally what it's about. But in my opinion, what is going on with that Nine of Cups is that somebody's wishes are being fulfilled, not Harry's, not Meghan's. And I would say that that Nine of Cups is actually representing Prince William. And the reason I say that is because we have seen Prince William all over the place. We've seen him at the Pope's funeral. We saw him last year in Paris at the ceremony at Notre Dame. He's getting... today, for instance, in the Daily Mail, there was a bizarre article about how Prince William was the reason why Donald Trump and what's his name, Zelensky, got together at the Pope's funeral, because it was his perception that there was an energy in the room, that it was the moment that the two were going to have a real chat, get down to, you know, the nuts and bolts of the situation, and he stepped out of the conversation so that they could have this moment. It was very weird, and I'm getting that Megan's watching this and just can't deal with it. In that energy of that Nine of Cups is a kind of resentment or jealousy or envy. I know they all mean different things, but they all have a little bit of energy that's coming into this Nine of Cups. It's quite strange for me, but I'm asking what's led to this moment. This insider speaking to the New York Times, and that's the energy, that's how it's reading for me. So what's going to happen next? What's she going to do next, or whatever? What's coming towards her in this plot? There we get the coming in from the cold card. The Five of Pentacles is the outcast, banishment, exile card, poverty, brokenness, ruin, all of that stuff. It's in reverse. A little hint of thawing. I think we're going to get a little hint of thawing. And the reason I say that in particular is because I remember doing a reading on the VE celebrations that are going to be happening in the UK. I think it's next week or next weekend. And it's the 80th anniversary. And the royal family have lots of engagements, including one of those balcony moments. They're all going to be there. There's going to be a fly past. And when I did that reading, and there was an article about Harry wanting to be there, expecting that he should be there because of his own military service, I got a shadowy figure in the background. I got a kind of an energy of him actually being there. Something in here, and there could be something in there, not because Meghan is the royal saviour, but because of what's going on with Pa. And so this is soon. This is a week, 10 days. That. So there could just be something that's not going to please anybody. I know that. It's going to make people very angry, probably. It seems to be what's going on with some of the royals at the moment is make everybody very angry. But it's possible that there will be a little glimpse of a bald head shining if there's sun on that day. We might just see something. Just a second time I've got that energy, so I just have to say it's interesting. Five of Pentacles in reverse. A little bit of a thaw in the relationship, tiny bit. How does she see herself, our royal saviour, Madame? Well, that's not a royal saviour energy at all, the Seven of Cups in reverse. This is the card of options when it's upright, and a bit of a fantasy, delulu energy, particularly in these royal readings when Harry and Meghan are involved in the reading. It's in reverse. This is somebody who is running out or has run out of options. Ten of Swords. Remember that Ten of Swords sits under that card as well. So if this beggar is hovering at the palace gates during that fly past balcony moment, it's because the beggar is in Ten of Swords energy. Just remember that. Don't get too cross. If it happens. If. It's kind of vague energy. She's run out of road. She's got nothing left. She's used up every opportunity. She's messed up every opportunity. She's proved how vacuous, lazy, incompetent, talentless she is, how lacking in vision she is, and whatever else. The list goes on. I could shout words all day about how useless she is. She has kind of got a clue about that. I think phones aren't being answered. I think emails aren't being answered. I think doors are slamming shut. I think people are jumping ship. That is somebody who's pretty desperate. Ten of Swords. What pressure is she under? Interesting question, given these kinds of cards. All this conflict that she has caused. Of course, nobody asked if I was okay, and I was silenced, and racists, royal racists, and all of that. There it is, 5 of Swords. She's caused all of this conflict, and now she wants to be the bigger person and trigger a truce. Get over yourself, Megan, and accept the fact that you caused all of this around you. Fighting energy everywhere. Everything she does, everything she touches ends in conflict. My opinion, which I have to say, and shall we say also allegedly. And so hopes and fears for Madame. Hopes that this is going to work. 8 of Pentacles. That they get that old half in, half out gig, of course, which they've always wanted. They can get the flash moments, the balcony moments, wave at the adoring crowd, and then go and merch. Duchess of Sussex, runny, not even jam, raspberry spread brought to you by the Duchess of Sussex. The Timu Royal, as she is frequently called, or Walmart Wallace, as she's also called, hoping that she can get the grift going again. It's one of my favourite cards when it's in reverse, because it's my grifter card. But that's her hope, of course, that money can start flowing again, especially from the Bank of Pa, I should imagine. They can do some light work. This is normally a hard working card, the 8 of Pentacles. It's not how it's reading today. Light work, new wardrobe, show up somewhere glamorous, wave, and then home again to frolic in the garden, or someone else's garden. How's it going to go? This attempt at reconciliation. What's going to happen? Oh dear. Queen of Wands in reverse. She did have to show up, of course, didn't she? In her own reading, there she is, the fire sign woman, Meghan Markle, the Leo. She's in reverse. She's not going to get her way. She's going to be thwarted. She's going to be very angry. Queen of Wands in reverse, very angry. Tantrums, shouting, breaking crockery. Is there any crockery left at Mudslide Mansion? Perhaps that's why they had to film at that other place, that other kitchen, because there's nothing left in Mudslide Mansion. Only a bit of Le Creuset that she uses every now and then. Can't really break that stuff. If you drop it, you're going to break your floor tiles or your foot if you don't get your foot out the way, or one of your children's feet out the way, especially that long toe that's still left, my left foot. Okay, enough nastiness. It's a bit of a rant, because I find this actually outrageous. That's my personal opinion. That she can send, in my opinion, it was her that sent this puff piece to the New York Times to try and come across as the better person, the bigger person, when she has done nothing but cause ruin and catastrophe and in the royal family, and defamed them and attacked and traduced them. And now she's wanting to reconcile, not because it's coming from a loving place, but because she's run out of road, she's ruined, and she's desperate. That is my opinion. And there we see her, the Queen of Wands, the drama queen, when she's in reverse. It's going to be tantrums, it's going to be rage, it's going to be acting out. We're going to hear much more, we're going to hear terrible things. And if this doesn't fly, and it's not going to fly, there might be a little, as I say, chink for Harry, a little bit of a, okay, you can lurk there in the background. Expect worse from the Queen of Wands in reverse, worse than she's already done. That is my very negative opinion of her after reading her energy for many years on this channel. All my opinion, all my speculation, and of course, disclaimer in the box below.